2001 Japanese horror film Pulse, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, remains one of the most influential films to come out of the J-horror boom of the 2000s. Whether it is due to its discussion of the consequences of the internet, or its discerning frankness of the theme of isolation and loneliness that permeates our existence, it is hard to deny its relevance in this day and age. In all its overbearing, slow, and atmospheric potency, Pulse begs the question, how connected are we to one another, really?
What's up?
What's up, man? How you living?
Yeah, I'm chilling. You know, it's Wednesday at the moment, which saying this will probably outdate the podcast. Today, we're talking about Kiyoshi Kurosawa's 2001 film Pulse.
Yes.
This would be my second time watching it. I believe this is your first time, Ben.
This was my first time watching it, and you've mentioned it a few times now.
Yeah,
in passing.
It's like a film that stuck with me, but also in terms of J-horror, it's probably one of the most influential or / famous films in that field. You know.
Oh yeah.
Can't really go around J-horror without talking about Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Probably talking about Pulse. You know, Pulse and Cure. Not to be like Pusha T, but if you know, you know.
Love that horror and wrestling.
Yeah, Pusha T's not a wrestler.
No, wait,
bro.
no, sorry.
He's a rapper.
Bro, cut that.
What the fuck are you thinking of?
I thought you said Booker T.
Booker T? He never said if you know, you know. He said, can you dig it? He also called Hulk Hogan the N-word.
I'm out, dude. I'm out. I'm cooked already. So when was this film released, man?
So, it was released in 2001, but let me find the official release day to be more specific. I just looked up Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Why the fuck did I do that? I should have just looked up Pulse.
And the guy in the... Yeah, go on.
The director. So in Japan, it was released on the 3rd of February 2001.
Okay.
Right after the turn of the millennium. So technology is still pretty... Well, not technology. The internet is still pretty new.
Yeah.
Which... essentially, this is what the whole film is about. It's
I think it's a great way to set it up, because I think that's like one of the key things about the film, right? Is technology.
Yeah, it's pretty much about the anxieties. Well, partly about the anxieties of what the internet could mean for society and for the world. How that affects our relationships, how we interact with one another. But really, I think the film's mostly about loneliness. I don't think that's quite hard to figure out. It's very, very oppressive with his theme, to the point of how, I don't know, I think it's aged really well. It's probably more relevant now than it is in 2001, despite its technology being outdated. The central themes and the worries and how everything is just expressed pretty much true to this day, I'd say.
Yeah, I got that from it as well. I got that idea that like technology is like another reality to these people, and how it's like the loneliness of it, and it was like weirdly like nostalgic because of the tech, like because of the big chunky computer and like the dial-up and stuff.
Oh, the dial-up.
It's a classic line. I think one of the lines he's like, can your computer dial up on its own? And I'm like, mate, if you knew what was coming, like your phone can listen to you while it's on lock now. Like if you knew what was coming. But yeah, so it was my first time watching it, and it was I didn't know what to expect. So I think that's the thing. You've always mentioned it, but I never watched a trailer for it. So I went into it quite blind, and it was so beautiful, man. Like it was really gritty, and like the cinematography was really cool, and obviously it was shot on film, and it just has this grain to it. And the whole time watching it, which it wasn't the intention, I guess, when they made it, but I kept thinking about like old YouTube and how like we used to like share creepy videos around, and you'd click off it and it'd be like just like a static frame of some guy walking past, like fake or not fake, like, and it kept reminding me of that, which obviously wasn't the intention of the filmmaker, because obviously YouTube wasn't even the thing then. But I think that lends to what you said about how it's like way ahead of its time about isolation and loneliness.
I don't know, even relating it to modern internet, I think it proves how effective and powerful this film is. You know, it's I think it's more than stood the test of time. It's honestly, it's taken on a life of its own, I'd say now. And it's a very human story about something that probably was very, very alien to them. You know?
Yeah, I wonder if they kind of, other than the filmmaker, anyone had any idea how relevant it is. But in terms of the plot, summarize it. You've seen it twice now. What do you think that, like, lay it out in a very simple way, and then I'll see if it lined up with what I thought.
I'll try my best. I'll just go on the baseline of what happened.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, it seems to bring up these three friends. I can't quite remember most of their names now, which is very unprofessional.
That's okay.
But these three friends who work in a greenhouse, and they mentioned their friend Taguchi, and he's not there. He's missing. They don't know where he is. He is hold of this disc, some kind of disc. So the main lady, let me bring her name up. I should know this because I've spent all day just reading interviews with Kiyoshi Kurosawa about this film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just the whole day because I don't know. I really want to do this justice because I think it's an absolute beautiful film. And Michi, she goes to find Taguchi, and she finds him in his home. He seems very withdrawn, just completely disconnected. And she's doing something else, and then she comes back and he's hung himself.
That scene was it was like 5 minutes into the movie. I checked the timestamp, and it was like such well crafted where she can't find him, and then he's like staring at the window pane with the glass, and then that shot of him being hung is like, whoa.
He looks like rotting, so and his neck is fucking crazy.
Elongated.
So you wonder how long he's been there, and and if she was even talking to him in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
From then we pivot to another story where there's this sociology student called Kawashima who's just got the internet and he doesn't know how to set it up.
He's funny, man.
He's such a
kooky character at the start. Yeah.
He's a sweet guy. He's a simple fella, sweet guy. I think, and
when he's writing down what to do, how to print screen, and
oh, it's the best.
It's so clever. Yeah, it's so endearing of the time as well, man. So I remember writing that stuff down for my parents, step by step on paper, how to do something on the computer. When really I could have just wrote it on the computer itself.
Yeah.
So we join him up. Yeah.
So his computer randomly seems to show him images and videos of people in random rooms. Pretty creepy stuff. He's confused why this would happen because he doesn't know how to use the damn computer. He's never seen the fucking thing in his life. So he goes to, I guess, the computer science club or department or class, and befriends a girl called Haruhiko who helps him set up his internet. Through this, they find out about this series of, I don't know, disturbing images. I guess they call them forbidden rooms, right? They call them forbidden rooms, which just have a bunch of videos of people, just live streams of people in their rooms.
In a way, it was acts. Again, sorry to cut you off, but just to jump in, it's it's so ahead of its time because essentially what they discover is the dark web and Twitch.
Yeah.
Live streams really of people just doing shit on the internet or sitting in front of their computer. It's so crazy how it's aged like that. Anyway, so they find they find these people.
They find these people and they're freaked out. So he's trying to print screen and record evidence, but instead he finds a video of a man with a plastic bag on his head with the words "Help me" written all over the walls. And from then on, shit gets more and more surreal, I'd say. And
so I made my note here. After the hanging scene, there's a really funny bit where he goes to log in, and the thing's called Uranus.
Yeah, dude, I had that too. I had the Uranus thing as well.
That thing down?
Fucking yeah, I had Uranus. My note just says Uranus. It doesn't really say anything else.
I put fun thing : Uranus. That made me chuckle. But that's a lot of those dark web portals are. They're river, and it's a river, and it's all this weird shit. But I actually wrote down after that that scene where I forget the character when he's like underground and he sees that woman at the end of the long tunnel.
Oh yeah, Yabe,
and she like slowly emerges, and then she does this so like uncanny like walk, dude. It was like so like it really made my screen. Yeah, I put insanely creepy, and the slow reveal and the score was just really made my skin crawl, and it did. It was like so like oh like you. It's really well done.
That's probably the most. I'd say the most famous scene from it. It's the one that people have taken away. I think that what I took away from it was that when he's like cowering behind the couch and she peers over him.
The hands and then the slow
and she's just looking at him.
And it's not even like a horrific face. It's like a normal person.
It's a human face, completely a human face.
It's so well done.
Yeah,
it reminded me loads of
she's...
like urban, not urban dictionary, like creepypastas, like all these weird ones about like the dancing woman and like like all these little ones. And it was like, that scene really made all my hairs stand up.
Yeah,
I thought she's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's just a human woman, and she looks quite distraught, and he screams in terror. I think from what I kind of took from that is just that essentially the whole theme of the film is that we are desperate to search for connections with others, but we're also like very, very terrified of being completely vulnerable. I think my friend told me it was something like the more we search for connections, the more alone we realize we are, essentially. And this is very, very central to the heart of the film, I'd say, particularly with the Haruhiko.
Yeah, she has that great line when she's at his computer about like, she says literally that in some regards. She's like, how we're connected yet we're alone at the end of the day, and like they explain this game where these two dots are circling each other, and they can get too close to each other or they die. But the further they get away from each other, the closer they become. Exactly.
Which is very paradoxical.
It's very I think you're right. I think that was the film. And the other thing I noticed is about the ghosts is they were never like inherently aggressive.
No, they're not.
They're just like, I guess, seeking life or seeking connection because they're in this purgatory space, whatever. So like they approach you in a creepy way, but it's still like they're trying to cling to that like life. Yeah,
Kurosawa. I read an interview where he said that while he's more scared of the idea of the ghost just existing from us instead of like attacking us. In like American horror films, people be fighting these ghosts. Where a lot of Japanese, I guess, I'm not sure a lot of Japanese films, but I think in Kurosawa, like the terror doesn't seem to really do anything with us. It just is there, and the way we have to like maneuver our lives around it, it's just it's quite. I don't know. I think it's very fucking fascinating.
Yeah, and that's a really great point. I think, most ghosts are perceived as like knocking things off walls and breaking windows and glasses and then like trying to hurt you and kill you. But I think there's something, like you said, like he said, like something really scary about the idea of them just existing around you.
Yeah.
And like always being there in some regard. Like that's like, nah, I'm good. You know, that's scary to me. Like at least try and hurt me in some way. Like
yeah, it's like the unknown, right? You don't know how to react because you don't know what they're gonna do. You don't really know them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you behave? Do you just go on as normal, or do you just ignore them?
I think that was the scene. There's two scenes that kind of stuck out to me the most. It was that one, the walking one, that really stuck with me. And then that shot of the woman jumping off the thing, and how it's just one shot and it never cuts, and she thuds, and it's like
just a thud.
It's gross. How'd they do that? It looks so real.
It's the fact that it's so unceremonious and just
and it comes out of nowhere,
and like there's no it's not dramatic at all. It's just
I think the music swells up.
The use
I'm pretty
of
sure it's just the camera looks up and then she's
it's like the entire film. I think the use of the score and the lack thereof of music at times really fucking like oppresses you with this atmosphere. You can hear the whirring of the computers and like random like insects chirping, and it's just so like full.
A lot of the footage of the different live streams of people were like just silence, wasn't it?
Yeah, which I think the scariest one for me, I actually got really freaked out at this one, where it was like a close up of the guy with the bag on his head. I don't know if he took it off, but it was like, because it was still quite dark and a bit hard to see, but it looked like there was like a face there, and he just but then the bag was on, and then like. And that whole thing like freaked me out. It's just so slow. It was so slow.
Because you see it first, you don't see who's under it, and then later on in the movie you see him actually take it off and then him shoot himself. And then like just the sound design of the help me's as well.
Oh man,
when the ghost is saying like help me and stuff, like that's so creepy because it's like right in your ear. And I was watching with headphones like a chump. It was there was no mixing. It was like pretty much in my ear, like someone was whispering, which is obviously intentional.
It's Yeah, it's fucking creepy, man. Really fucking freaks me out.
It's so creepy. It's so creepy. I was so creeped out, but I'm glad I watched it when the sun was still up, to be honest.
The first time I watched it, it was like in middle of the afternoon. I loved it then, but I don't think I registered how fucking creepy it was until I watched it last night.
Nah,
This was about 11 at night when I was like halfway through the film. So I don't know. It's unsettling and God, good Lord, man. I think I'm more just... There's no like jump scares or anything. It's very much
really.
heavy.
There's like a few moments
atmosphere.
where there's like suddenly static, like glitching, but
it's never like...
the scares don't come from that.
Yeah, it's, I think in turn with what Kiyoshi Kurosawa was saying about how he is more frightened about the ghost just being there. I think the horror is just more in just the atmosphere itself and
and not understanding
the ideas it's bringing forth and how we relate to them as opposed to any like sudden movements or.
I made a note here. I put a hospital question mark, but I put like 4 question marks, and it's because when I forget her name, but when she kills herself, one of the main characters, he like runs over and he's like, so he's like, get an ambulance, get to the hospital. And I literally wrote, my guy, a hospital, like 4 exclamation marks. Like she fucking shoots herself in the head. And he's like,
there's a bullet.
Get her to the hospital. And that was something else that really struck me, is like the lack of blood.
Yeah, I saw that as well. There's like just no blood.
And but it doesn't like, for me, it didn't take away from the moment.
No,
it
it's
felt
like
right, but
I feel like in some way you could spin it in a way. This is just me feeling right now.
You could unpack it.
How she not already a ghost, because she was mentioned how lonely she is and how I don't know much she
empty
her life is, and
no blood.
There's another point where she said like these people that we see on this website, are they not as much ghosts as these ghosts are? And
it's true, man. It is true.
There seems to be no life there, and I think by the end of that, all the life she had was just gone. So I think maybe the lack of blood would have been, maybe she just isn't human anymore.
And it would have probably ruined like the fantastical element to it, like the technological side of it. Like it's quite a dry movie, if that makes sense. Like it's like absolutely stone and concrete and computer and plastic, so having like any sort of liquid in there, like blood, would be sort of counterintuitive to that.
Total shift. And
then I also put, my final point I put was, I just love the ash visuals at the end when she's running through the house.
Oh man,
it looks like an old video game. It reminds me of Silent Hill.
Oh, totally, completely.
Massively, yeah.
Fuck.
It's so cool.
The entire like ash or whatever it is, all of those like effects were so fucking gnarly. When,
but they look. That's the thing, is they don't look like good by today's standard, but they still look good in the context of the movie.
Yeah, I think it's really charming, but I don't think it looks bad per se. It's just
bad's the wrong word. You wouldn't see it in a modern movie, but I just thought it's such a cool visual. It reminds me so much of Silent Hill and like the fog, and a couple of set pieces there. But I loved it, man. I thought it was really good. Did you rate it on? So did you enjoy it more the second time?
Oh, I think I enjoyed it a lot more the second time.
More the second time? Why do you think that is?
I think more of the fact that knowing what happens brings forth new ideas of what I know. I think it leaves you with a lot of like reflection, right?
Yeah.
So I was able to, without like virgin eyes, I was able to internalize it more.
Yeah.
Related to my own experiences and what I really feel about it. What aspects speak to me more. I think knowing everything allowed for more freedom of expression. And I think it's a fucking beautiful movie. It made me very scared about everything, really, about how we live our lives. Because I'm pretty sure maybe you're the same as well, but I spent basically my whole childhood growing up on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have these like, I think people who have accounts or whatever. We basically share our whole lives on the internet. Everything is essentially there for the world to see, but aspects of our lives are. And one day we won't be here anymore. And essentially these accounts will also be rendered as quote unquote ghosts. People abandon accounts all the time. Like I have an abandoned Twitter account, don't remember the password.
Yeah.
That's basically a ghost in of
And
itself.
even within that, people who pass away have their social
Yeah.
accounts still public.
Essentially, I don't know. It's quite.
And I wonder if
something-
that is because there's something really quite terrifying about the idea that there are millions and billions of social accounts out there now that are owned by people who are no longer alive.
And it's,
Do you know what I mean?
It's fascinating for sure. It's nice to like have a memory of them, but it's the fact that I don't know. There's also the idea of like how I don't know, has like the internet become a crutch and how we relate to people? Are we more like are we more scared to be vulnerable? I guess face to face with our friends. Do we need like a barrier, like how these ghosts need a phone to express sorrow, and not to be like I don't know, the internet sucks kind of thing? Because it's not like that. You know, it's not like we on the phone too damn much, but you know. There's repercussions for not to be because of that damn phone for any like ill ailment or whatever. But it's like I don't know. Yes. What was I saying? Fucking.
You said not to trash on the internet. You're about to trash the internet.
Yeah, I was trashing it anyway. But like I know this like it's very useful, but also you know there's repercussions for new inventions and new. I don't know, anything new has its consequences, you'd say.
Yeah, so, I think a lot of them are yet to be seen.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Especially with the internet, because it's like, it's sure it's not new, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a new thing.
Yeah, like, it's only about, it's not even 100, is it 100 years old even? Not really.
The internet?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like not even 30. Like
yeah, it's very young.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, we're seeing it now with AI as well, right? Like it's new, but...
Oh God, yeah.
Who knows what the fuck that's going to be in 20 years?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I want to know what you took away from this. I want you to ramble on for a while.
I love hearing your thing because obviously it was my first time. I was quite amazed where it went, the direction at the end about like essentially the apocalypse.
Oh yeah,
that was a crazy direction I didn't see coming. I thought it was going to be a self-contained story about like an internet virus, basically, but and it was also like how that quickly spreads, to the population. Again, so ahead of his time about forwarding on videos and getting even everyone like Russian malware. That's kind of what happened, right? Yeah, I read into it very much about like technology and loneliness and all the shots of like people on the computer in their apartment, especially the main character. I was like, it's just so isolating about it, and how he's like everything around him's like dirty, like he has to clean up when she comes around, and I read into it like this sort of technology is their reality. It's like a new reality, and they leave the main reality, the real world, to go into this digital world. You know what I mean? And they leave behind their shadows and their leftovers. But yeah, I very much feel allegory for like being lonely and loneliness in the internet and technology. And it's really good. It was very bittersweet. The ending wasn't exactly like happy.
Yeah.
But she did say, one of her last lines is like, I was finally happy.
Yeah.
And that was when she was on this boat, isolated away from mainland. So you can look into that and say, oh, she's away from all this technology. She's now like, she went on a holiday, basically. She switched off.
Social media detox.
She like deleted X. And then she's like, and I'm finally at peace.
It's like back in the day when motherfuckers used to be like, yeah, I was off Facebook for a week. my life turned around. Like you fucking,
I was off Facebook for
11-year-old.
2 weeks, bro, when I was on holiday with my family. What did I miss?
My perspective changed. You're like 12 years old saying this shit.
Like 12-year-olds. Oh my God. I think I did a few times. I remember there were times where I used to put like Facebook statuses being like, it's all too much. I'm going quiet for a couple. It's all too much. I'm going quiet for a couple of hours. And I'm just like, I just
couple of hours.
And I just like, and I won't even log out. I just close the tab, bro. Like,
couple of hours. I thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah, a couple of days, a couple of hours.
It never lasted that long. I just remember so many times. I have to try and dig them out from my Facebook memories, but
Didn't
so
even
many
have the
times I'll be like,
confidence.
I feel like pure shit. I'm going dark for a bit. Don't text me.
Don't text. It's the don't text me. It's like the
And all the
Snapchat
comments
thing,
would be
right?
like, "Hey yo, message you. Hope you're all good."
It'd be like the black.
And I think I'd reply to them and be like, "Yeah, man, I'm just bugging it through." And that's like 2 minutes after I've just. That's like 2 minutes after I've just been like, "Oh, I'm going dark."
Thugging
Or
it
like I used to
through.
reply to people and be like, "Message me."
And that's the thing motherfuckers would do. They'd be like, yeah, message me.
So you'd put this like really vague status, get everyone comment and be like, "Hope you're good," and then you'd
Yeah.
reply to them being like, "Message me about it. Talk to me."
The black photo on Snapchat with the fucking like, we don't know who your real friends are. Only the real ones would know. Hit me up if you're real type shit. Can't
so
stand these
true.
fake motherfuckers.
Can't stand these fake motherfuckers. That's genuinely how I felt watching this movie.
I mean, I guess Pulse it has an element of that, but I don't think it's entirely. Can't stand these fake assholes.
No, I think I riffed a bit there. I went off
yeah,
target.
completely. No,
But
that's fine.
I think what you said nailed it, like the film, a summary.
Yeah, I'd say the film is like me for real. I'm like all these motherfuckers. They're just like me,
for
man.
real, dude.
They're just like
Sick
me.
of these fake motherfuckers.
No, all these ghost
These
sounds.
ass
I'm the
haters,
only
man.
real motherfucker.
Yeah, literally, I'm on a boat right now. I'm the only real motherfucker left on the world.
Yeah. Yeah, Michi says she's happy, whether we believe she is or not.
True.
Whether what she means by "I'm with my only friend in the world,"
Yeah,
or whoever that's relating to. I think
she's talking about herself.
I feel like it is herself because we do
She
see
barely knows this guy,
Kawashima.
man.
Yeah, not to be spoiled. I guess the whole thing's a fucking spoiler anyway.
Well, it's assumed, yeah.
Yeah, you guys should all watch the film. It's absolutely amazing. It is completely a masterpiece in my opinion, but also it's
It's worth
just
a watch, yeah, definitely.
yeah. But yeah, this guy he seemingly disappears. Nothing really. She doesn't really make a fuss, so I don't know how much has actually happened.
Yeah.
But he fades into the black dust.
Yeah, the little silhouettes. That's so clever how they use those silhouettes.
Silhouettes of the fucking best part.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like you see like these volcanoes that erupt and leave behind ash people.
yeah.
Like it's like that, but like this sort of digital version. What I was going to say is when I was writing my notes and I looked at the synopsis and stuff, there's two more.
2 more pulses.
I think they remade it.
No, there's an
America.
American remake.
Right, and then there's there's 3 of those.
Yeah, and
Have you seen those?
no. So
Do you want to see those?
I kind of want to, but
Morbid.
also I feel like this movie is so fucking good. I don't
Yeah,
want.
there's no way this American remake's good. Yeah, but there's 3 of them as well, so I'm interested to see how the hell they pull that off.
So the first one was directed by Wes Craven, right?
Okay, yeah.
But he says that he has no influence. I mean, it's on the record, I think, but it's like I'm paraphrasing, so don't entirely quote me. But he said something along the lines of, "I had no influence on this movie and what happened with
wow.
it." So basically, it might not really be his. It's got his name on it.
Okay.
Kristen Bell's in it, and according to everything I've heard about online, I mean, obviously, make up your mind, watch it. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's a fucking like underrated gem. No one fucking likes this one. I can tell. Everyone hates it. I mean, it's a Hollywood remake, so I can't imagine it being like able to pull off what the original did.
Yeah. Maybe we should watch it out of curiosity.
I feel like I wanna because I think it could be really funny at the very least. But we should probably go. We going on the mind that this is not gonna touch Mr. Kurosawa's effort.
I'd be surprised if even because this is really like quite a special movie. I'd be surprised if it even come close to hitting the same highs.
If it somehow does, then fuck. Someone cooked. Wes Craven, legend.
He cooked it.
Wes Craven, legend already, but
Yeah.
maybe you have put him in like conversations for one of our great auteurs ever. Supposedly,
Maybe.
which you can still have that
Pulse
conversation.
4, baby.
I want to know. I don't know what Pulse 2 and Pulse 3 is. I don't know anything about these.
I
other
wonder if they
ones.
just stretch the concept of like world apocalypse further and
Yeah, that sounds
probably
like
made the ghost
lame.
evil. They probably made the ghost sinister, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie I don't want to see, man.
Nah.
that sounds like something else. I don't know, but I have not heard really much about Pulse 2 and Pulse 3. I know they exist. Don't know who's in it. Don't know who's directing it.
Fair enough.
American remake has Kristen Bell, who maybe some of us love. I think she's fine.
We stand.
Yeah, she's all right. She's cool. I liked The Good Place at the time, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. We stand Kristen Bell.
Yeah, I know when I was 15, probably was very much in love with her.
When you're writing those Facebook statuses.
Yeah, I'd be like, Kristen Bell, hey, chilling with that. Chill with Kristen. Don't text me unless you're Kristen Bell.
Don't text me unless you're Kristen Bell.
But I wanted to mention like the scene on the train with Haruhiko and Kawashima, where this is like the only moment of, I would say, like true intimacy between characters, because she's resting her head on his shoulder.
And in the car, right?
Yeah. And the car as well. That's like the only two moments of intimacy, but particularly the train. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. No, you're right.
Yeah, particularly on the train where like they have this shared moment where they're committed to running away together, and the train breaks down, and Kawashima's trying to find a way to alert the conductor, and then Haruhiko just wants to go back home, wants to go right back where she came, like where they were trying to escape from. And it was just I think the idea of just being like, we're not really, I guess maybe it's just Kurosawa was trying to say that, or maybe I'm just inferring this. I think I'm just inferring it, that we're not truly ready to, I don't know, connect deeply, and we're still, I don't know, very scared of being truly vulnerable. Because she could have had, I don't know, I think he was pretty much in love with her. Yeah. You want to put it like that, but I don't know. They had a pretty real connection, and she was just seemed much too scared of that, and her loneliness has encompassed her anyway. Because there's that scene where she spots herself being seen on the actual computer on the live stream, and she's turning around, and there's this ghost, and she's like hugs this ghost, and she's hugging nothing. So if
she looks like she's comforted by that.
Yeah, she says she's not alone finally at that point, and that is not a very fucking creepy scene.
Yeah, it was well done. I think you're right. There's a line that two separate characters said the same, and it was like, we'll go as far as we can. Yeah. And it's like, that's such a good way to describe it. Like, we'll be as connected as we possibly can.
Yeah, how far this
can go. But it will never be what we want it deep down. Like, it's so clever.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me wonder how, I think on a very, I guess, existential is the right word, but I don't know how much. I think we all really do crave connection, but how much are we ready to completely connect with others? I don't know. I guess the emotional barrier of sorts. Are we willing to bring it down to really connect 100%, or is that even possible? What does it really mean to connect?
Especially in like the tech age, is it possible in this technical age we're in? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what does it mean to connect with another person? What is connection really?
Yeah, it's how you perceive it, right?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a lot to think about, and I think it's my favorite kind of movie, which leaves me with more questions than answers, but also very, very painful.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would like answers.
Deeply sad.
Yeah, very sad. And sometimes I'd like answers. Sometimes I'd like conclusions.
Sometimes you do want an ending that makes sense, but sometimes I think...
Yeah, and I think...
The discussion is why it was made, you know?
The ending makes sense in this because of, I don't know, it leaves it up to you, which probably what film should really be doing. You should be able to infer what you want from it. I think there's a lot of breathing room with this, and I know it's a lot to think about.
It is a lot.
It's a dense film. It's an insane one to kick off this series you want to do. Yeah, it's really not like the typical horror film, quote unquote typical. But I think it's a good jumping point.
I think so too. I think that's also why this is going to be so fun, is that we are going to just watch whatever each one of us recommends. All right, well, that's it for Pulse, man. So what did you rate it on Letterboxd?
Oh man, I feel like it's a movie beyond rating, but I gave it the full 5 this time. I feel like giving it a number. What I think of it.
What did you originally give it when you first watched it?
4.5, so it went up half a star.
Shit, that's good though. Like, it's obviously got like rewatchability.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's very special, and I think it deserved a rewatch. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I will watch it again at some point, but it's very heavy. What I should note,
Yeah.
the fucking end credits song, man. This did you listen to the end credits song?
Like about a couple of seconds, just as the first couple of cards came in.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Is it a
listen to
banger?
I think it's a banger, but also I think it's very funny. Very funny that this is the fucking end credit song to this existential, very terrifying film. Should I send it over WhatsApp or?
Yeah, sure. It was funny how this film also leans into like what we talked about with I Saw the Glow TV.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. I was thinking that on the bus ride home.
Similar vibes, man.
Like, oh
Similar
yeah,
vibes. Different fonts.
I think I have a type of film I enjoy.
Tech
And it's just-
horror. What's the
big
official
tech
word
horror,
for that?
Yeah, technophobia is like.
Technophobia, yeah. This is definitely that. This is like a good version of that dark web movie they made.
Which one, Unfriended or Dark Web?
Unfriended.
Apparently, Unfriended is good, man. I haven't seen it.
I don't remember it being that good.
Maybe
Maybe we should revisit Unfriended. When did Unfriended come out? Maybe that
I'll
could be
be
the
honest,
next episode.
I haven't seen Unfriended.
Unfriended is 2014. We could do Unfriended 10 years later.
Oh my god, maybe it
Let's do
actually
it.
is a classic.
That's the next one. That'll be the next episode.
That's
the new one for the movie club. We'll do that.
I guess so, man. Fucking Unfriended.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, listen to this ending song. I want to know what you think of this.
All right. I fuck with it.
I was like, I don't know. I think it was a nice reprieve from how like.
But I say tonally, it does not match the ending of that movie.
As soon as the first scene ended, I was just like, oh wow. And then the song plays, and I just fucking caught up going, what the this like TD Bopper idol
these,
song.
like technophobe horror movies having like insanely good soundtracks. Like I Saw the TV Glow, and it's like these really crazy soundtracks.
This is fucking like, I don't know, this TD Buffer Idol song, which I think is a cool song.
Yeah.
Tonally insane.
Insane.
But I feel like I remember a lot of Japanese films being like, this is gonna be a weird one to talk about because like it's very different to Pulse and much more sleazier, but it's a film called Stop the Bitch Campaign, which
Good,
I won't get into about what it is, but it's a very sleazy film. So sleazy pink film, I guess you could say. So do a Japanese pink film. Look it up for the viewers. That can be a whole nother episode. We talk about pink films, but it's like a sleazy pink film, and it does some pretty like gnarly weird stuff, and then it has this fucking like ditzy pop song at the end credit at the end scene. It was so just. It's so totally just fucked.
I do love that juxtaposition with horror films and like really upbeat tracks.
It's my favorite thing, man. I just love the juxtaposition. I just love the things that don't belong in things. And
it feels
great
good.
song. Coco, you worked very hard on it, but I don't think it belongs in the Pulse soundtrack. But I'm happy it is. I'm very happy it is.
I saw a couple of comments in the comments of that saying Pulse brought me here.
Yeah, it's mostly just I guess Japanese fans, but I saw a couple being like, Pulse did this, and
Pulse brought me here.
Pulse brought me back
All
to
my
Pulse.
homies, right? Like this comment.
Pulsers, fellow heartbeat havers. Pulsators.
Cool, yeah. So that's Pulse. We're gonna do Unfriended next, dude.
I guess we have to
Get ready to watch that shit.
Honestly,
Unfriended. I can see the title of the video now. Unfriended 10 years later. Come on.
10 years later.